Namaste, I Javin Gaurav Goyal from the Faculty of Physiotherapy and Diagnostic FPD in the Department of Diagnostic and Community Health in the discipline Radiology or Radio Diagnosis from JIT Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are going to discuss a session about the radiological protection or radiation protection in the radio diagnosis department. That is the session from the course general from the course hospital administration in radio diagnosis in the PSCRT 610. This topic is usually asked in competitive questions like the full form of ALARA principle and the uses of ALARA principle and the steps in the ALARA principle and about the time distance shielding and any other radiation protection devices, radiation protection principle and thickness of barriers, thickness of devices. So the full form of ALARA is the as low as reasonably achievable. Second principle is the time distance shielding. These two principles affect the radiation dose of the patient. Now we start from the ALARA principle. ALARA principle is prescribed by the ICRP, International Commission of Radiation Protection. ICRP. There are three steps. First one is the justification. Justification step means if there is any study that is justified that the study examination having overall benefit for the patient. So justification, the most common type of ionizing radiation used in medicine all over the world are X-ray. So most common type of ionizing radiation that is used in all over the world is X-ray. Since its discovery, X-rays are used for most imaging purposes. There are obvious benefits from medical uses of X-ray. However, there are well-established health risks from radiation if improperly applied. If the radiation is applied, radiation is given to the patient improperly, in improper manner. Hence, every medical procedure involving radiation needs to be justified. Means like any X-ray, general X-ray examination, or any special radiographic examination, or any type of other imaging modality that uses X-ray. So the medical procedure involving radiation needs to be justified. If it is justified, then it is okay. You can diagnose or you can use any type of radiation modality or radiation exposure. Okay. So we had discussed about the one step the justification of practice. Justification of practice. Second one is the optimization. Third one is the dose limit. So, uh, 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 this first step is the justification of practice. So we are discussing about the justification of practice, about the modality. If the modality gives the appropriate radiation dose or gives a calculation to the patient about taking radiation dose or so. Uh, uh, so it is fact that diagnostic X-ray examination contribute the largest fraction to the population dose from man-made radiation source. So, X-ray examination or X-ray diagnosis is the largest fraction population dose that man-made radiation is from the X-ray diagnosis. Second one is the step is optimization. All living things are exposed to ionizing radiation from the natural called background radiation. Natural background radiation covers the radiation cosmic rays in the natural radiation present in human body and radiation present in the soil or any clay or any rock. And this second type of man-made radiation source, ionizing radiation, may cause biological changes like mutation in the cell, any other changes and genetic changes in the cell, genetic cell, in the exposed person, and the doses to the occupational workers, the doses to the occupational workers shall be kept as low as reasonably achievable, and the dose to the patient shall be optimized. So, after optimizing the patient dose, we can reduce operator exposure also. So, we should use the protocol that the patient dose should be optimized for for the reducing the dose for patient and operator. Also. Suitable control measures shall be employed to minimize radiation exposure. Suitable control measures shall be employed to minimize radiation exposure so that maximum benefits are derived. Maximum benefits are derived with minimum radiological risk. Like collimator, we can collimate the radiation field to control the radiation exposure or dose to the patient or operator. Next one, the step is dose limit. So ICRP gives some dose limit for radiation worker and the patient dose, a public dose, or for a fetus. So first one is the for radiographer, a radiation worker. The dose is 20 millisievert per year. It can be exceed 20 to 30 millisievert per year, but in 5 consecutive years, the total dose that is received by the technician or radiographer is not exceed from the 100 millicurie. And there is a separate doses for length of eye, hands and feet. The radiation dose for hands of feet and hands of feet is 500 millisievert per year, or for public 50 millisievert per year. So these are the data, these are the dose limits that are fixed, that is fixed by the ICRP, International Commission of Radiation Protection, to protect the patient or public and the radiation worker. Next, the principle is time distance shielding. That gives an important role in the radiation protection. Most effective method of controlling radiation are to minimize time, maximize distance from the X-ray tube, or minimize exposure time, and maximize shielding. Like we can use lead barrier, lead Bonard shield, or thyroid shield. That is made up of lead. The thickness are different for different devices, or different shielding materials. So we can reduce by minimize time, maximize distance from the X-ray tube or source, and the maximize shielding. The next one is time. The total dose received by the worker is directly proportional to the total time spent in handling the source. Lesser the time spent near the source, lesser will be the radiation dose. So directly proportional to the total dose received by the worker is directly proportional to the exposure time, or time that is spent handling source. So the lesser the time spent near the source, lesser will be the radiation dose received. The next one is the distance. Reduction of exposure due to an increase in distance is governed by the inverse square law. Means the intensity is inversely proportional to the R or D square, that is the distance. So it follows the inverse square law. So the when distance is increased by 2 square, the radiation is become 1/4 of the dose. As the distance from a radiation source increases, the radiation exposure decreases rapidly. Shielding. When maximized shielding, distance or minimized time do not ensure an effectively low radiation dose, adequate shielding must be provided so that the radiation beam will be sufficiently attenuated. So these three factors, time, distance, shielding, that those three factors are required to reduce the patient dose and technician dose, because the minimize the time and maximize the distance from the X-ray source or X-ray tube to the patient, and the shielding, maximized shielding, is reduce the patient or operator dose. So these principles are very important when we are going to work in a radio diagnosis department or any radiation appliances where radiation appliances is used. So the question can be asked from the ALARA principle and time distance shielding principle, like for the ALARA and the stress that is covered in the ALARA principle, and the time distance shielding. What does the time distance shielding say, or what does the time distance shielding mean? So I think you are satisfied with this session. Thank you. The session is over. This session is powered by Digital version 2.0 JVW Jaipur. Thank you. Live safe, live safe.